Welcome to our U.S. Briefing Show. Today, we're diving into some fascinating international updates. First up, President Xi Jinping is rallying the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO, to stand firm against U.S. sanctions, pushing for a new development bank and stronger global cooperation to counter Western economic pressures. It's a strategic move to promote a multipolar world and boost China's influence across Eurasia. Next, in the world of diplomacy, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi met with Russian President Vladimir Putin in China, reaffirming their special relationship. Despite U.S. tariffs on Russian oil, India is sticking to its energy plans and boosting trade with Russia, aiming for a massive $100 billion partnership by 2030. It's a clear sign of shifting alliances and India's quest for strategic independence. Finally, in Ukraine, children are starting their school year underground to avoid Russian bombs, showing incredible resilience amid ongoing conflict. Despite the hardships, kids are celebrating with traditional attire, and many hope for peace to return soon. It's a powerful reminder of the human spirit persisting through adversity. Please continue to watch for more detailed coverage. The South China Morning Post vividly captures China's strategic rallying cry at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO, summit in Tianjin, where President Xi Jinping passionately urged member states to fortify their collective financial and geopolitical resilience against Western pressures, particularly from the United States. She emphasized the urgency of establishing an SCO development bank to bolster economic security and deepen cooperation among nations facing sanctions and tariffs, many of which are embroiled in US-led economic conflicts. His speech underscored a broader vision of countering hegemonic bullying, advocating for a multipolar world order rooted in multilateralism, justice, and fairness. Xi's call to oppose Cold War mentality and unilateralism resonated with countries like Russia, Iran, and Belarus, all grappling with U.S. sanctions, and signaled China's effort to position itself as a leader of the global South amid Washington's retreat from its traditional global leadership. The summit's declaration against unilateral coercive measures and the plans to accelerate the SCO Development Bank's establishment reflect a collective push for independence from Western dominance, emphasizing shared interests in infrastructure, science, and resisting U.S. economic and political influence. Meanwhile, the Australian Broadcasting Corporation highlights the symbolic and substantive strengthening of India-Russia ties amid escalating U.S. sanctions. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Tianjin, following the SCO summit, signaled a deliberate move to deepen bilateral relations, especially as India navigates the turbulent waters of U.S.-imposed tariffs on Russian oil. Modi's description of the partnership with Moscow as special and privileged, and Putin's warm acknowledgement of India's trustworthiness underline the enduring warmth of their relationship, which has been reinforced by India's growing reliance on Russian energy imports, now constituting a significant portion of its oil consumption, despite Western warnings. This diplomatic gesture also comes amidst the backdrop of U.S. tariffs, which have increased tensions over India's continued Russian oil purchases, seen as vital for India's energy needs but criticized by Washington as aiding Moscow's war efforts in Ukraine. The meeting underscores India's strategic balancing act, maintaining trusted ties with Russia while hoping to manage its complex relationship with the U.S., highlighting its desire for strategic autonomy and multi-alignment, and illustrating how global power dynamics are shifting as India and Russia forge closer bonds in a world increasingly divided along geopolitical lines. The Associated Press vividly depicts the resilience of Ukrainian children, who are starting the new school year in underground classrooms to escape the relentless Russian bombs. In Bobrik, a small village near the front lines, a school has been transformed into a basement shelter, where classrooms are now makeshift spaces lined with plastic sheets and illuminated by the hopes of a future that refuses to be extinguished by war. Children, dressed in embroidered vyshyvanka, bring flowers for teachers, their voices echoing in the cramped, windowless space, as educators strive to provide normalcy amid chaos. Despite the hardships, dampness, limited space, and the threat of drone attacks, the school operates in shifts, symbolizing the unwavering determination of Ukrainians to keep learning alive and preserve their children's innocence and future in the face of ongoing conflict. Meanwhile, the South China Morning Post reports on India's steadfast stance amidst global tensions, highlighting Prime Minister Narendra Modi's warm yet strategic engagement with Russian President Vladimir Putin during the SCO summit. Modi's affirmations of deepening cooperation across sectors, including energy and trade, signal India's refusal to bow to Western pressures to cut Russian oil imports, despite U.S. tariffs and diplomatic strains. Their meeting, held in China amidst the shifting geopolitical landscape, underscores India's desire to maintain strong ties with Moscow while navigating complex relations with the West. Modi's supportive dialogue with Ukrainian President Zelensky and his emphasis on regional stability reflect India's nuanced approach to global conflicts, positioning itself as a key player committed to strategic autonomy and multilateral diplomacy in an increasingly divided world. The South China Morning Post reports that Chinese exporters are wielding considerable bargaining power amid the ongoing US-China trade tensions, bearing only about 9% of the tariff costs, contrary to earlier US claims that American importers were shouldering most of the burden. Through comprehensive analysis, Chinese goods have maintained a strong competitive edge, with prices dropping by 2.4% from April to July despite a tariff increase of 27 percentage points, indicating that Beijing's firms are effectively resisting the full impact of tariffs. Meanwhile, US importers are expected to absorb around half of the tariff costs, with American consumers covering an additional 8 to 10%. This dynamic has allowed China to avoid the steepest cost burdens, which are instead distributed more heavily among Southeast Asian nations, Japan, and the European Union. Despite a tariff truce extension, many Chinese exporters are struggling to fill orders and are contemplating relocating production to Southeast Asia, highlighting the ongoing economic uncertainty and the delicate balance of trade costs and competitiveness in the global supply chain. The South China Morning Post also explores the existential challenge Western democracies face amid the rise of artificial intelligence and mounting internal discontent. Despite fears that AI could centralize influence and manipulate public opinion, the deeper crisis questions whether Western-style liberal democracies can still deliver prosperity and stability. Widespread disillusionment, economic inequality, and political unrest, exemplified by protests, Brexit, and the Capitol riot, have eroded confidence in democratic systems, especially as many Western nations grapple with aging populations and sluggish economic growth. In contrast, Asian countries like China, India, and South Korea are investing heavily in digital infrastructure and economic development, demonstrating alternative models of governance that prioritize stability and collective progress. The core challenge for Western democracies is now proving that they can still generate tangible improvements in quality of life. Without this, their legitimacy may decline regardless of technological advancements. The future of global governance may not hinge on a single model but on society's ability to balance freedom, stability, and prosperity in an increasingly multipolar world. According to Yahoo US, the Northern Lights are expected to dazzle viewers across 18 states tonight, including New Hampshire and Maine. The phenomenon promises a spectacular display of shimmering green and violet hues dancing across the night sky, captivating those lucky enough to catch a glimpse. The celestial show is being heralded as a rare opportunity for residents in the northeastern United States to witness this natural wonder, which is typically associated with more northern latitudes. The vibrant auroras are a reminder of the universe's enchanting beauty, offering a mesmerizing spectacle that unites sky gazers in awe and wonder. Meanwhile, Cairo 7 News reports a tragic incident from Seattle's Capitol Hill neighborhood, where a man has sustained serious injuries following a stabbing. The incident has sent shockwaves through the community, prompting swift police response and investigations. Witnesses describe a chaotic scene, with neighbors expressing concern over safety in the area. The victim's condition remains critical, and authorities are working diligently to identify the assailant and understand the circumstances surrounding the attack. This violent act highlights ongoing safety concerns in urban neighborhoods and underscores the importance of community vigilance and law enforcement efforts to maintain peace. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Morning coffee, fresh off the press. Reading headlines, feeling blessed. World keeps turning, stories unfold. Every moment, news gets told. Flipping channels, clicking tabs. Feeding my mind's hunger grabs. Facts and figures, images bright. News keeps rolling. to know. Never stopping, always go. Scrolling, swiping, reading on. Daylight breaks into dawn. Headlines and headlines, can't get enough.